In this video, I want to show you how to get demos for your B2B SaaS, even if you don't have a lot of followers. And I'm going to use a specific example. If you are having some other SaaS for B2C or some other things, or maybe a service, maybe you're an agency owner, it can work as well for services, but this example is specifically for a B2B SaaS that I built last year. And this is an example that I'm going to break down. Okay, and also this tweet that I wrote, there is a lot of things to cover here, and I wrote it like a checklist, but actually it's not that simple as it looks. And in this, it will take me maybe 2, 3 to 5 minutes to explain each step here, so we can go deep on each one of these and you can actually implement it for your thing. And the example that I'll share with you is basically this checklist is an extended version of this example, but it's better and it's customized for SaaS. So let's jump into it. So if we walk through this checklist, it's basically optimized for tech founders who are building in public. The basic idea here is to always keep the customers updated. What a lot of founders do on Twitter is they just write for other founders and they don't grow their business because the target market is not other founders maybe for their product. And instead, if you still want to build in public, you can do this. Okay, so basically, let's break down first this tweet. So this is a tweet I wrote in May 2022, a year ago, and it goes like this. When I had below 1K, I DM'd every new follower, at least those who looked quality. But when I blew up and gained 30 to 100 followers a day, I couldn't do it anymore. So I built this tool, benefits, call to actions. Call to action. So basically, this tweet is talking about a problem. I take some kind of features. This is generally talking about my SaaS, but I took a feature and I broke down the benefit of it. Okay, and I told a story about it. This is the problem. So right now, I'm not talking about any problems. I'm talking about some story. Then I'm talking about this is what happened. Okay, so any feature for your SaaS right now that you have, let's say you have an email marketing tool that you have the templates, okay, in the tool, and it saves time to people. You don't want to talk about the templates. You want to talk about maybe it's templates that we got from experts, and it saves a lot of time. But you want to tell a story of how you came up with this and what problem it solved. Okay, so we talked with a lot of email marketing experts, and the one thing they said that wastes them a lot of time is coming up with templates and writing them on the spots. That's why we added this feature that you can use, blah, 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 right? And then you can talk about, so this is exactly what I did, like talking about the feature. Then you want to provide a proof, okay? It worked. Um, it's still early, but it helped me generate $3,000 and tons of new connections. And because people back then I had like maybe 6,000 followers, maybe 10,000, and people can see that it worked because I'm a living proof. What a lot of founders do, unfortunately, they build some random tool, then they say, okay, this is my tool, go use it. But what they forget is, does your tool work? Do you get results? If you don't get results, no one cares because everyone can build a tool, but what actually the customer want, they want the results, right? So you need to prove it can be your thing, it can be a result you got. So let's say you use the software yourself, which is exactly what I did. Let's say you have customers, testimonials, you gave it to some friend, they got some result, it saved them time. If you can screenshot it, will be awesome as well. And then I added a CTA. Okay, so I added a call to action. If you want, DM me to give it a try and save 2, 3 hours of outreach, blah blah blah. This is not perfect copy. I don't want you to copy the words because I'm looking at this right now a year after and I'm like, yeah, some of this is like bullshit, some of this is good, but look at the structure. Okay, telling a story about a problem and connecting this to a feature, providing proof, and call to action. Now let's move on. So this tweet, it got a lead, inbound lead. Okay, I didn't do anything. I told them to DM me, and this is what happened. So he told me would love to test the tool. Now, what will happen on Twitter if you want to generate qualified demos? A lot of people will reach you out, but you want to qualify them as much as possible. So here I forgot to add something like to qualify them, because like a lot of people that have no business, have no money, will reach out to me because of this. Instead, I could say something like, if you have 10 customers, DM me and I'll give you a try. In this case, it worked. So the dude is telling me he has like right now 100K followers, so it was pretty good lead. Would love to the tool, and I wanted to figure out like what's his problem. So would how would this tool help you qualify? And he says it himself. My account blew up, and I don't have a good way to identify the target. So he said exactly what I wanted. So I didn't continue to qualify. If I would not be sure, I would again qualify. And yeah, I offered the call pretty quickly, and then he said sure. And I also say, yeah, let's do it in 10 minutes. So I wanted to close him as fast as possible and make it like this, okay? So he's not forgetting. There are also a few other aspects of things that I did here, some things I could improve, but that's the general structure. We had a call, so we went to, so in this stage right now, we went to a demo. I showed him the tool a little bit. Back then, I priced it at $100, and yeah, he paid, and he was a user. Okay, now let's go back to what I said on the tweet, which is basically, and by the way, if you are running a B2B SaaS right now and you have at least 10 case studies, I can help build a strategy for you. I can take a look at your business, take a look at your business assets, take a look at your competition, take a look at your competitors on Twitter, and build a strategy for you based on what I just showed you and based on my experience working with other people. So if it's interesting for you, you can send me a message down below and let's make it happen. Now let's go back to the video. You can use this as a system. If you already have a B2B SaaS built, you can do a lot of other things. You can break down each feature. You can take customer case studies, take a look at what problem the tool solved for them, tell a story about them, add a case study to show proof that it's working, add a call to action if you are in the same situation, blah, 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 and get them on a chat. Okay? If you have nothing, or if your software is still early and you're getting the first 100 customers, you want to build in public, but don't build in public in a way like every other person is doing, which is like, hey, I built this thing with JavaScript, blah, blah, blah. Your customer doesn't care how you built the thing. And unless you want to network, which is fine, it's okay to also network, right? But I'm here, I'm on Twitter to network, but to also make money, right? So release a version every 2 to 3 weeks. It will help you adjust the idea. It will help you see what people think. Don't be that guy with, this is so sad, like I saw it on Reddit. A guy, I worked on a product 2 years and I'm about to show it to users. And I'm like, no, 2 years, are you insane? So release a new version every 2, 3 weeks. Not only you get feedback, but you also can use what I'm about to tell you. And then, you need some distribution. So in this case, I told you, okay, find hashtags that your customers interact with, because you need some eyeballs, okay? Back then I told you, I have 10K followers. I got some eyeballs, okay? Obviously this tweet got like 10 likes, which for me back then, it wasn't good because it wasn't like an engagement tweet. It was meant to get me sales. And this is exactly what it did. For your account, you might not get a lot of reach. Maybe you're getting started. One of the ways is to find hashtags that your customers are using. So again, let's say email marketing tool, you can use hashtag email marketing, maybe some tool in your niche. I'm not gonna dive into distribution channels I have some other resource about that. It's a bit outdated. Maybe I'll do another one. But the second stage is to get eyeballs, at least in the beginning. Now, break down each feature. So after these 2-3 weeks, not only you have a deadline, not only you have scope. So in these 2-3 weeks, you'll be able to build maybe one feature, two, three features. I remember myself, I was coding the thing, marketing the thing. It was almost impossible to finish features. This is why I'm telling you, release features anyway with what you've done in these 2-3 weeks. So then you can move on to the marketing aspect. If you have a co-founder, um, it's easier. If you have a co-founder, it's easier. They focus on the coding. You focus on doing these kind of tweets. And like this is one type of tweet. In the future trainings, I'll talk about other types. So you break down each feature that you built in these 2-3 weeks, and you tell a story about it. And this is so good because when you do this, you'll think, why did we build this feature, right? Like, did we build it just because we thought it's nice? Did we hear some customer telling us that it's nice? Maybe some customer was asking for it. Maybe you had a problem, okay? You go to the origin of why it happened. If you don't have an origin, maybe it's not a good feature, right? So, and also add a demo of each feature. So, the step here, it's problem, feature. So instead of talking about the feature, just show the feature. It shows people that you already solved the problem in your SaaS. And then they say, okay, so if I want to solve this solution, and then you show them a proof. So they think in their mind, okay, if I want to solve this problem, I know it works. This feature, I see that it's already working. All that's left right now is to add a call to action to tell them, hey, you can give it a try, right? And that's basically the whole sequence. Obviously, you can play with it. Obviously, there are some specific things for your situation. And just to show you that it actually works, not for me, but also for others, here are some screenshots from a B2B founder that I'm right now helping them grow their account. And for example, this is an inbound lead. They send this message. We started qualifying them. This is an example of, another inbound tweet. This is an example of, hey, I just booked a spot. So this was someone who, reached out. We booked a call. And another example of someone who booked a call. And that's pretty much the strategy. Now, if you are running a B2B SaaS and you want to grow your SaaS to 100K MRR with Twitter, and you have at least 10 case studies, we can jump on a quick call where I take a look at your business, I take a look at your competitors on Twitter, I take a look at the content we can create and building a sales process for you. And after we build a strategy, and if I feel like I can help you and I can do this strategy for you, what I'll basically do is we'll talk about the marketing services I offer to SaaS founders, and I'll do the strategy for you. But regardless of this, I can build a strategy for you that you can use to hire in-house people, freelancers, or do it yourself. And if it's not working out, that will help you grow your SaaS regardless of working with me. So if it's interesting for you, send me a message down below with the word SaaS and let's make it happen.